Okay, well, let's get started officially.
Yep.
All of the Littleton Urban Forestry Committee meeting for September to order. And let's take a quick roll call here. Joe Scott, Earl Hand, Mary Dodd. Got 2 months worth of minutes to review and approve. Have a chance to. I wasn't here for July one, so I can.
You can if you feel that they're reflective of, yeah,
Yeah.
questionable or whatnot, but. Fear.
July minutes, a second. Favor say aye. Aye. Got a short meeting. I'll also make a. For this. I guess, and all the favors say aye. Aye. Right, so we will go right to our agenda then. We've got a couple of things. Full business.
Yeah.
So we can read those maybe.
Right, yeah, just a few quick updates on the Tree Campus K-12 program. The elementary school, they are still waiting for their packet from Arbor Day Foundation. So once they get that, they'll have that press release and just the materials, and that we're going to do a joint effort for release out to Times Post and on our social media pages, announcing that they officially did receive that recognition last school year. So Kim Collier is going to be following up with me here, probably here in the next couple weeks. We anticipate we'll hear news. And then also for their Arbor Day celebration that we've done and proclamation that we've done with the fourth graders, they are definitely wanting to do that again this year. Melissa Hagerman, she had, when I reached out to her for a potential date, she had mentioned, and we'll talk about this here in a little bit, that Carrie Dodd had reached out to them and regarding a potential fall tree planting project falling on that week of that 13th through the 17th. And she would kind of like to coincide those to where, and that's where, again, we'll be talking about here in a few minutes, but those 5 trees, we'll just use that event to pull in those fourth graders in there.
Yeah.
So that way it's not double coverage and time out from their classes and so forth. But she felt like that would be a perfect week for them if that works, for night summer. So we'll definitely still do that. We'll pull Marissa Skaggs. She really enjoys being a part of that. And so we'll pick one of those trees, kind of stand around that. We'll find out where they want those planted, and we'll kind of use that for our Arbor Day celebration for them for the school year. Melanie McCarty, she had sent her probably, I think it was on the 20th of August, the information for Arbor Day for where they go in there and they set up the account. So she said she would try to get that done here September. She said October would be a good time for us to meet, just kind of come together. I was going to bring those education plans that we did.
She's
the elementary. She's the middle school science teacher and science department lead. And she said, I'm already on it. We're doing a leaf collection, so that'll be one of our pieces. She seems very comfortable with running most of their learning activities throughout the school, but we just want to make sure that we hit that Arbor Day Foundation piece for the Arbor Day celebration. Got to make sure that we have that. Thinking that we may do something separate with them in the springtime instead of relying just on our fall activity. That would just be an addition to that. So, and then do another like hands-on activity in the fall with the Arbor Day and being more aligned with Arbor Day at the end of April. So,
I'm glad those schools are taking ownership of this.
Yeah.
I guess that's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
Anyway.
Yeah. Also, another piece is that just because of the timing and school closing and being out of session. Kim Collier was also out of the country for several weeks in June. So I had submitted the application and then just followed up with her and the principal Hagerman with giving them all their paperwork in August. So Melissa Hagerman was really pleased with what they had done and accomplished last year. So that was good. That was good. So yeah, they are definitely all in, and I cannot wait to be able to release this to the community and get this out to Scott Blade. And yeah, I'm excited. So okay. The other one, this just last Saturday, we had the last.
Yeah, I didn't take any
Or-
pictures.
Okay, yeah,
For that at the end of the day.
I forgot I was gonna ask you that.
Yeah.
This morning.
I never take pictures. I
Yeah.
never think about it till later.
Well, I just cannot thank you all enough for covering me for both the last two times and just appreciate you all.
That's
being
fine,
there.
and, people just come by and just wanna chat, and it's always just interesting, that a lot of people still don't really know what we do, but there's a lot of people that look trees.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
A lot of people gathered information about the invasive
Mm-hmm.
species, and then, and just about native trees, kind of in general, talking about, trying to concentrate on planting
Native trees, yeah.
So, I think there's just a nice little.
Yeah.
I assume we'll do that next
Well,
market year.
yep, we'll plan on doing that again next year. And then next year, we'll get more activities in there and, get, yeah, I think, it's a great thing for our committee to, build that awareness and build those relationships and conversations and, yeah,
Education.
And we might be able to draw from some of our people at the school, so we can kind of, even if it's an hour, coordinate a few students.
That'd be great.
Get
Yeah,
involved with
that's
the
good
farmers
idea.
market.
Yeah.
Guess we count as a hands-on thing for them, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, we could definitely do that for, if not the August, definitely the September one. So it gives them time and yeah, come in and do, I like that idea. That down. Okay. Great. Yeah, I mean, that might even be something that they can do an activity. We can have something out on display or something that,
Or even just pictures of what they've done at school, some of their activities and display, they have a board, pictures or something. We'll always like to
yeah,
talk about what they did.
that, that could definitely even be things that, we could have ready from, by the end of this school year and have that ready even for June, July.
Right.
Yeah, and show what those tree campus
Yeah.
programs, what they're.
And if the kids are around, I mean, they may want to come. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
ways to contact them.
That's,
And there's a new, you probably know this, but there's a new, graduation requirement for those graduating the first year of is 2029, but they're required to have a certain amount of, volunteer and or work study, so that maybe they even, I mean, that's for high school, but
Yeah.
you still, I would think that, any kid who's interested in either
yeah,
science and or
Yeah.
teaching could do that, use those as some hours of volunteer.
Yeah.
yeah,
So that would be the freshman this year.
Yeah,
okay.
that might
Yeah.
be useful, yeah.
That would be one way for them to.
To get some hours in.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I love that requirement.
Yeah.
That really, I can't remember who I was talking to, but we were talking about the STEM day. and about the students being at the museum and just how vested they felt coming in, and that excitement and passion about your own community and the history and that heritage. And we got to keep that program going on, continuing that in the spring. And I think even talking to Nancy Knoll and Jeanette, I mean, how much they love those students being back into that building, touring that and, so even things like this, that just makes them realize, just taking that ownership and, love your own hometown. And yeah, that, makes them be more, better stewards of your town. So, yeah, love it. Great ideas. Also, I want to mention too, before I forget, so I know that we kind of talked about having a tree pickup. So in Madison County Soil and Water District, they've got their trees are gonna get delivered next Thursday. It got bumped out a week, so it'll be delivered to them on Thursday. We're gonna have a couple of our dump trucks, Rick Bolin and his crew are we're gonna pick up the trees. So Krista Bosman's going to collect all of the trees, names and contact information for us. So then that way we know who all from Pendleton had ordered trees. Yes, yeah. So she said she didn't know how many when I ran into her on Monday.
Yeah.
She didn't know how many there were, but she said maybe 1-2 truckloads at most. So we're gonna go pick them up. We'll let them know that if you would like on Friday from 11 to 3, we'll be at the shelter house. I talked to Sherry Bell and she said that we can use the shelter house that, either we can use it at the one by the community building, or we can use the large shelter house that is back behind the pond. So I wanted to see your opinion because the one behind the pond has the restrooms a little bit closer. But the ones that are there at the circle, it'd be easier to kind of, pull up and load into their truck or their
That's the
vehicle.
better option.
Yeah, okay. And she said that she would check to see if the community building, not to let public in there, but just we'll leave it open to where, one of us needs to step in there and go to the restroom or whatnot, we can use the community. And we'll have the restrooms that are right there as well. She said she just can't promise, just because those restrooms sometimes go down the one right there by the circle.
So that's on,
That'll be on the 25th, so that'll be on next Friday, the 25th, from 11 to 3.
that's the 25th is a Thursday.
Oh, sorry, 26. 26, apologize. Okay. 11 to 3, I'll just plan on being out there, and if you, free, want to come and join, and two, we'll have a better idea. Haven't heard from her yet this week, but I'll connect with her and see what numbers and hopefully by our conversations and contacting the individuals, we'll have an idea as far as pickup time. And if there needs to be some accommodations for those that need to come in later to pick it up, then I can arrange and work with them on that. Just gonna keep that day open. Okay. All right. So for new business, we have our encore event for our 5-year anniversary. There's an individual here with us that has really done a ton of work on this. And Carrie, cannot thank you enough for stepping up and helping, me out, the town, our committee on taking lead on this application. She had applied, I think it was the 20th or somewhere in there for August, that those applications through 9 Star were due. That is that cooperative service day. That was scheduled for Friday, October the 11th. But in evaluating all the grant applications, their program is a little bit more driven more towards just kind of volunteer and kind of picking up some needs of whatnot that whatever organization entity is in need of, with supplying some materials. But they fell in love with what Carrie had presented, and they love the idea of having it across the project over the entire South Madison community schools, including LaPel school systems, being 7 campuses, total of the idea of planting 5 trees on each campus. Each campus would be basically receiving the same tree species. You've worked, correct me if I'm wrong, 15-gallon bucket trees that Nine Star has a distributor that they work with, and they would like to purchase the trees through them.
Right. I'm just pulling up the
Pulling up.
list of trees that,
Okay.
I think I know it in my
Got
head, I'm afraid of. Yes, here we go. So Charlotte Creek Nursery is the nursery, which I don't know familiar, but, Carthage, Indiana.
Nice.
Okay, and just based on what we talked about, what was available, so tulip tree, serviceberry, single stem, Kentucky coffee tree,
Okay.
swamp white oak, and a green point juniper, which is a red cedar.
What was the last one? Carrie?
Swamp white oak and
Okay.
green point juniper,
Green?
which is also known as a red cedar.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
So evergreen.
it's an evergreen,
Yeah,
yes,
sure. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Because we had talked about wanting the variety of
Yeah.
things, or whatever.
So say, I had,
Yes,
say them again.
tulip, serviceberry,
Okay. Yeah.
and
Oh, good.
Kentucky coffee tree.
Yeah.
Swamp white oak, green point juniper.
Yeah.
Yep. So those 5. I have not heard back from LaPel, either of LaPel campuses, so
Okay.
there's 2 really, because the other, and I haven't heard back yet, but I asked Tammy if she would ask one of her old board members who's also, or somebody that she knows that's an old teacher to,
Yeah.
yes, I think that's right, and contact them and say, hey, can you get back with us? I've sent 2 emails so far.
Okay.
Friday I sent one, and then I sent one today.
Okay.
So I don't wanna like
Yeah.
do too much, send
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah.
Pendleton Middle School said they're interested. Melissa Hagerman said she's interested at first, and I think there probably was too much information in my first email. Because she's like, well, let's talk about what tree we want, and I was like, well, that's not, yeah, it's 5. And, anyway, so I sent that to her, so I'm thinking, Pendleton Elementary, have not heard back from Maple Ridge, sent the second one. The high school, I did finally hear back from him today, and he said they're interested.
Okay.
East Elementary said, no, thank you.
Really?
Yeah, he said, when I initially sent it, he said, we don't want any softwood trees because they don't live here. And I said, oh, we'll just take a couple of oaks. And I said, and so I sent my thing today. I was like, here are the 5 trees. And he said, no, we're not interested.
Is this,
And
Indiana.
Candiana?
yeah, I thought that was weird. I just thought that was strange. I'm thinking, well, wouldn't that be a learning thing too for kids? I don't know.
Yeah.
Why did the tree not live? And why don't you try it? I don't know. I think that's really strange. But anyway, so I don't know what to
They're
do.
not native trees.
No, he said, we don't want to be part of the project. We don't want to, okay. Here's what he said.
No, but I mean, because they're not native? They
No,
don't live-
because he doesn't want softwood,
Oh,
because
okay.
they don't live there. They don't, we haven't had
Oh,
luck.
I get it.
He said
If they don't. They don't.
We can't participate. We haven't had any luck planting those type of trees at East Elementary. Thank you for your consideration. So, okay. So I'm just wondering, do we reduce the number or do we plant them in the park or something?
Mm.
That's what I'm wondering, if we have anybody else who says no, but. Yeah, Maple Ridge, I don't know the person, so I don't know what to do
Okay.
about that.
Okay. Well, I'll reach out to Maple Ridge.
Okay,
And then we got, so the high school,
High
the
school.
elementary's good, middle school's good, and
Yep.
then we got the lapel.
we don't, well, we have somebody
I mean, we
follow
have
up,
to
yes.
follow up, yeah,
Right.
yeah, okay.
Would there be a need maybe at the administration building?
Oh, maybe, I
I
don't
don't
know.
think they've got many trees out there. do they?
Yeah, maybe.
If you put them around the perimeter or something.
It's not like they need to be near each other.
Yeah.
So I don't know who to contact there.
Okay.
I wouldn't know.
Corporation.
Who's the? Penny, this is, oh, that's mine.
Okay, that'd be great. I'll send that. I did send with this with the group of trees, how big they get. they might know, but just so they know,
Yeah,
they can understand
yeah,
placement
yeah.
needs and whatever.
yeah, because the tulip and the Kentucky coffee and then the swamp lettuce.
They're all good, yeah.
But they'll be great for shade.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah, yeah, so, but that's good, and I think we're getting there. Um. Yeah, and Nine Star's been great to work with, and, yeah, that guy with from the nursery's been really. So, yeah, it's good, so they're gonna fund $2,500 of it. Excuse me, which leaves. Like $1,300,
Yeah, that
Helps me
25,
cover.
yeah,
a
okay,
little bit less than that.
okay, yeah. Yeah, because I just had put for here, just with the original numbers in. And then I've got, Dawn is going to let me know what is in the urban forestry.
Okay.
fund. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
All right,
I'll
we'll
let you
see what
know.
that is, yeah,
Hopefully,
and then we
probably get that from her tomorrow.
Okay.
So,
That's fine, yeah. Yeah, I just didn't know if we do have a couple of schools that say no. I hope not, but,
What's the date?
well, and that, so we were thinking the week of October 13th, because both school districts are in session. But we hadn't, the nursery, we hadn't actually set a specific date yet.
So that means we'll be doing 5 trees and other 5 trees under this old business. At the middle school. at the
Oh,
reed-
it would be the same, it would
It's the
be,
same 5 trees.
yes,
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
one of those trees would be the
Yeah.
one they talk about, that.
Yes.
Yeah,
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 of the element.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we could use that since we've been kind of been, Oaks kind of.
yeah,
been with-
yeah, I was
Mhm.
gonna say,
Yeah,
that was
that's
perfect, yeah.
Mhm.
What about the Carnegie building? Is it still part of the school?
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't think about that. Is
I
there
don't know.
room there?
I don't know if they've got room for a tree.
we know about 5, but maybe if the school corporation
Maybe
wants to
service
take a
period.
few and then.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
might even have one there.
And the Nine Star's gonna come out with like an auger thing to do.
Oh,
Like,
great.
good, that's so
Yes.
good to
Oh,
hear.
that's.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially since we haven't had any rain.
I know, it's like a
Yeah.
rock.
Yeah, because I say 15 gallons gonna be a good size.
Yeah.
That's a big, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
big.
Yeah, it's not the
boy.
tallest, it's not as tall as I've seen with 15-gallon, but yeah, it's a big hole.
And then I'll connect with Mark Butler as well, and he said they would love to
Yeah.
help out with the planting, so,
Oh, yeah.
from Banning.
Well,
Oh,
that's
engineering.
good. It's still 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, who is this guy? Don't know who that is. I mean, he's obviously one of the guys I was talking to. Anyway, so yeah, it's great news. Hopefully they also be like, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they're just not.
No, I said it. I said it a couple times. I did talk about the commemorative.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, maybe they probably just skimmed it and they didn't understand, but it didn't matter. So that's, that's too bad, because it's elementary, there's a huge space back there that they could do.
Oh, yeah, they got massive
I know.
ground out there.
Okay.
All right, well, yeah. Okay, we'll work on that, so
Okay.
then you'll check with Mike,
Yeah,
and
I'll
school
get a contact.
corporation, and then,
That'd be great. There's a lady
we'll
that
see if we can get a hold of
Yeah, I'll
Carnegie.
just, yeah, or I can look online. I can look online too.
Well, then I could.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, that'd be really good.
All right, cool. Yeah, well, thank you again, Carrie. I
Sure.
appreciate that, so. So, yeah, we'll check on the funding. I'll let you know as soon as I find out from Dawn. And then also to, we'll work the schools and try to knock out the locates, because we'll need to make sure that that's done as well.
Yes, and that, yeah, I mean, I did say in there, you need to get, if you need to call, I don't know how you do that, but
Yeah,
if they already know where all their lines, their maintenance people might already know that, or, but I don't know. So,
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
All right. So then, the last piece here, I did keep this information in from last time, if you're interested in upcoming tree stewards program. Also, we've got then the Crown Hill Cemetery program coming up, and then we've got the symposium coming up in December. And then we wanted to talk about, and Carrie, again.
Sorry.
done a
Yeah,
great-
I know.
Oh, you decided that you need to say, no, this has just been wonderful. We've got some opportunity coming up here, this next month for some grant applications through Indiana DNR. I mean, I read on there that, I mean, you can apply for more, but yet, there's no guarantee you're gonna get more than one. But we wanted to, present this information. Carrie has done an amazing job doing a 2-pager here, with some detailed breakdown as far as kind of what type of eligible projects fall in, what kind of that goal and objectives are for each one of those grants. The Community and Urban Forestry Assistance Grant, and then that Small Town Big Tree Grant. And they're very similar. We think that those would be very fitting for our community. Just one of them is just a smaller scale project than the other. So the first one is up to $30,000 total grant dollars. And both of them, all of them are dollar for dollar match. But then the Small Town Big Trees, it's just a little bit more focused on smaller communities and a smaller scale project, but we would be eligible for either or. So we kind of wanted to just share this information with you. The deadline is the 23rd of October. So there are some deliverables beyond just filling out the application, the narratives. We would need to do a work plan and some scope as far as, where those tree plantings would be if we do decide to do a tree planting project. The project would be awarded out middle of November 17th, and then we would need to have this grant completion, that grant closed out by the May of 2027.
It's all, that stuff's on the back of the page.
Oh,
That's all on the back. Yeah, okay. It's the same requirements for all the grants. Okay. So that's why I put it together. Yeah.
There we go.
As far as focus, education and training is one area that we can go in, ordinance, developmental standards and so forth for tree protection, that would be another option. Tree planting, of course, that can be street trees, infill within, say, the downtown. If there's an area in the park system, we can do that as well. The other is invasive species is an option for the larger grant
That's
program.
strictly trees though.
Was that?
That's strictly trees.
Yes.
Only, not
Only
like
not
honey shrubs.
brush and all
whatever.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's strictly trees,
just
right?
tree.
Mhm.
And then also the garden would be an option, the urban food forestry. And then the others are the tree keeper program, which, I think we're pretty good covered there. We're getting ready to actually submit, they're supposed to send our subscription, here for this next year. We're really fortunate to get on ground level with that project because it kind of locked us in on a rate. But then the other one is that management response plan. And we can always look into getting that updated, which it is suggested, and I hope.
The tree inventory management plan, that.
Yes, it talks about kind of the species, the breakdown of species within our inventory. Kind of works through kind of a maintenance and a budget piece. And I've got that in the drive. Pull that up here. So this is our plan, and I had met with Aaron Flynn a while.
2016.
It's 2016, and it's recommended to be updated every 10 years. So this would fall nicely within that ideal time frame to have this updated. So as far as cost for that, I have not reached out to Aaron. I wanted to check with you all to see. Now, we could do a combination of, if we do have that funding availability, to do the update to the plan and do a small scale tree planting project. Doesn't mean that we can't do both. It's just that I would need to check with her to see, about what this typically costs and, what our match capability is for the town of Pendleton to be able to do that. The good thing is I know that, for this year, we would not have the dollars to be able to put towards it, but this would fall within the 2026 and even part of 2027 funding.
Do we have any idea how much it costs to do this 10 years ago?
Yeah, I don't. My hunch is probably 15,000-20,000 maybe, because, and the fortunate thing is that the inventory, we have a lot of inventory, it's already built into Tree Keeper.
Yeah.
The one thing that we need to do is catch our new subdivisions. We've got some tree plantings in Huntsinger Farms that needs to get added in. And then also Carrot Glen that we need to add in for street trees. The falls did not have,
Well, and a lot has changed since 2016.
mhm,
I mean,
yeah.
we lost so many trees, we worked to replace.
Where did you find that in the drive?
It's at the top, or maybe it's at the top, right?
I would like to see, that get updated. I feel like we need to keep.
It's one of those things that if we don't do it, and we feel like we need it, it'd be like a scramble. I feel like we should.
Well, yeah, because a lot of times a grant will ask for.
Mm-hmm,
And then
yes,
if you've got an outdated.
Mhm,
you've
yep.
got an outdated
it's right.
plan,
Yes.
it's- Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And I would love to be able then to incorporate our approved tree list into this document. And then also to just having a good realistic work plan. I
Yes.
feel like that our budget is something that, we submit each year. It's a revised budget compared to this document. It's an addendum that I submit each year to Arbor Day Foundation for our Tree City USA application. But I just want to make sure that what we do submit is something that we follow through with and
Yeah.
that it's something that's practical. So we've kind of just amended it just for the time being, but I just wanted a good working plan
Yeah.
all together.
Yes,
Take
so
the
their
pieces together.
recommendations on things, our goals are probably more important than what we think our goals should be.
Mhm.
Let
Mhm.
let the professionals
For sure, yes,
suggest
yes.
Yeah.
what we need to be doing, what we need to be focusing on, so. Hey. Yeah, perfect timing, really. If we have, I think the other, haven't we often used some of the utility budget to?
Yes, and I would anticipate we would be able to still do that because our tree keeper software, that inventory really supports all of those trees under the power lines and yeah, so it would probably be in tandem with planning department funding and then also the electric. Yeah. I think that, town leadership would be all in support for us getting this planning document updated. I think it is definitely time and I think we've got a great valuable resource. The one question that I had seen Carrie on your notes is that there was that proof of bidder registration. And if it's for each budget item over the 3,000, must solicit a minimum of 3 quotes and bids before selecting that contractor. I don't know if that is before we submit it after the grant has been approved, or is this something we need to have those bids?
Oh, that's a
Obtained
good, I don't know. That's a
beforehand.
good question.
So I was, if you guys,
Yeah.
are wanting to go this route, then I think, I could reach out to
No, I can do it.
Rachel.
I'll do it. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah,
But yeah, that was, because in two, we know, Navy Resource, but I'm not familiar with other similar, organizations in, local, close enough that specializes in this type of document. I think this would be something that would be perfect timing for, with the grant cycle and our needs. And it might be something too, that there might be some other sections in this management plan that we can add into it. And
So we're not even thinking about, and would we apply
Absolutely.
for both the big one and the small one? Or like the same application, or I don't,
Yeah, the,
I mean,
It
I know
might
the other
depend-
one just limits to 5,000, but that still would be a nice chunk. I mean, we still need to do this update, whether we get
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Would be.
I think the two things is how expensive this management update plan would cost us. That 30,000, that's a build out of 60,000, but then we'd have to find out like what would be feasible for our end to be able to make that other, to make the match, on that.
Yeah,
So if it's,
but
Say
say the update would cost $20,000, so we'd be looking for 10,000. Would be the most we would be asking for, but I'm just saying if we.
yeah,
we also
20,000.
apply For the 5,000, maximum of 5,000 grant.
Or we can roll all into one application.
Yeah.
That,
Say we would,
Yeah.
we have an area that needs, say, some trees,
uh-huh.
because it's,
Yeah.
whatever, it's been empty since the tornado, and we need to do this, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Under
Project types include on the small grant, that one that says that invasive species replacement program. I know Hamilton County has been, if people would get rid of the repairs,
Mhm.
they're giving them another tree.
Right.
Plant in its place.
This is,
Under that's.
this is, for every one invasive species, a tree that's removed, then we would plant two non-invasive. And I don't, and then if it's, but if it's on personal, private property, it's not.
This is on.
This is
public
urban, yeah,
property.
this is, yeah, I mean, you still can remove, but you have to. Actually, I don't remember, I started to write it up and then I was like, okay, this is getting too complicated before we decide what we wanna do, but it talks about that, but it's really for the street trees in the public areas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought about that too, because that's exactly what I was thinking.
Cause we've talked about the ginkgo trees
Mm-hmm,
on State Street, right?
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
yeah.
How, do we have any idea, I mean, just this calendar year, are we keeping up with trees removed and trees replanted? Do we have any idea?
So this year, I would say we're probably removed about 20. I think I've got on my list that I've got to pull from
the.
the tree keeper.
Yeah.
Mhm. As far as trees planted this fall, we've got a few arborvitaes that we've got to plant on a property that we're waiting for construction to be done, but it may end up getting bumped until the spring now, just because construction's not done yet. But we've talked about it, but we haven't gotten
So
there
we
yet.
could easily justify doing some plantings.
Oh,
Yes,
yes,
we've taken,
oh, definitely, yes,
our goal is to not lose,
yeah,
they say even.
oh, yeah, I definitely think even if we planted 30 to 50 trees, I think, would be good to have a part of this grant application. And another big piece too, that, reading from Carrie's notes is community engagement. So that would be something that, if we did just this update here, may not give that community outreach piece that they're looking for. But with the tree planting, I think that would definitely get that. And we've had inquiries for those because we've lost a lot of trees along Broadway, a few other streets. So I definitely think that there are a lot of filler spaces that we can plant trees kind of like Franklin.
Yeah, for the grant, we have to identify exactly. But we need some details then.
Yeah, I don't know, do they need like exactly where it would be placed, or can we say on this street, we lost this many trees, we would like to replace, like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know that just from the review process that we did with that federal grant, being on that team, they had like a work plan, and then they had, it was just a spreadsheet that had like the name, the tree species, then it had the name of the street, and then, what was it? I can't remember, it might have had like utility conflicts or not, yes or no, those type of, data, fields, but then they had a map. And then they just kind of, but it wasn't anything, GIS accurate or
Yeah.
anything, if it was just, generally kind of where they were on the
General area. that they-
I'll add that, I'll just, yes, any other question?
Yeah.
What about the area down where the log cabin came? Is that still an area that we want to plant trees in?
kind of where that, triangle property was there on Mill Road and, yeah, oh yeah, we would definitely, yeah, that's a good point. I know that that'll be a kind of a trailhead, once that trail gets, constructed, it'll probably be 3-4 years out, but we can
But
definitely.
there is a plan for where that trailhead's gonna be, we could.
And we're planting
And it
land
will-
along the trailhead maybe.
Get
or
that
something.
going, yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah,
That'd be
because otherwise, any head start with trees is, yeah.
Yeah,
Beneficial for
we
sure.
could definitely do that on that, triangular property. I know as far as along the trail right now, they're gonna have to go through some acquisition of right of way and so forth to accommodate that. So that may not be able to be done at this point, but I definitely think that Mill Road property, yeah.
Cause I don't think, if anything, they're just scrub trees.
Yeah,
Not much of anything really. It seems like when you think of it, it's just grass.
Yeah.
and, do we want to put in there a little mini arboretum that we've talked about, just kind of get that started and get that, I can't remember what the accreditation levels are, but that initial level and.
Any trees we plant there could become,
Yeah.
And Mr. Hayes,
I
he said
asked,
he would help us. when we got ready to
Yeah.
do that, right?
do that,
Yeah, oh,
To
yes,
plant
Stephen Hayes,
small-
yes, absolutely, yeah.
be, start educating people.
Yeah.
So, does that mean that's a little bit over a month to get something
Put together,
put together?
we'll do it, yeah. Oh. Hey, if we can have pulled off the preserving Main Street in a month, I think we'll be able to do
You
that.
think you work best under pressure?
I
Or do you know what it's like to not have?
I don't know, maybe that's what it is, I don't know. I got to sleep at the town hall on this last weekend, so.
I have heard so many people that I just know that probably, that don't even know you, have never met you,
Oh.
have said, she must be a ball of fire.
Oh,
Really? Really?
No,
I've had
that's
4 or
funny.
5 people say that. She's.
Yeah, well, I'm sure one of these days I'll do some catch up, so, but I've learned a lot the last, what, 6-7 years I've worked here, but the last 6-7 weeks, I tell you, yeah. Got to meet some wonderful, people and got to see a lot of great things come together, so, yeah. Really a cool experience. We're hoping for a good outcome, but I think it was a win-win either way. Will be better for it either way.
We built community.
Yes, we've got a really, really special community for sure. Okay, well, I love this. So we're thinking update to the tree management plan. I'll reach out if you are all in support. I'll reach out to Aaron Flynn if you don't mind, Carrie, to confirm that question, whether or not we need to have those bids up before our
Yes.
application or not. That would be wonderful. And then I'll reach out to Aaron, get an idea of kind of what that update costs, and then we know what we have to work with for a tree planting project.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
yay.
Yeah, I'm so excited. This is great.
Just don't know when these grants are gonna come up, gonna take advantage.
Mhm.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yes.
And it's very exciting. When I saw the date, I was like, oh. Because at first she was like, I think it's due October 1st. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like snuck up on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
I
it's
saw
so
that,
much
yeah.
better.
Yes.
Manageable.
Yeah. Definitely do that,
Yeah.
for sure. Do you want to make official vote on that? On the
Sure.
acceptance of kind of what movement we want to do?
Yes.
Okay,
So I will entertain a motion to submit grant applications to update our tree inventory management plan and also a tree planting, replace trees that have been removed from town.
Second that one.
We'll make it-
I'll make the motion. I'll make the motion.
Okay.
Second it, sure.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
From me, thing.
That's okay. All in favor, say aye.
Okay. All right, that's all. That's all I have.
Something.
Yeah, that is for sure. All right, that's exciting.
Sure, unless anyone else has anything to add or. I saw something else came through about fairgrounds, yeah, but. They were going to plant some trees at the fairgrounds, they were looking for volunteers to plant, and then also to water.
There's a watering thing, yes, I forgot, yes, yep, I just printed that off real quick,
Yeah.
just one of each of those, if you want to
There's
take a look at
always
that.
opportunity.
Here. The one of them seemed to have several things.
That they have, yeah, that they throw that out to people, if anybody's.
Does that have to be somebody that's been through the tree keeper program to volunteer?
I don't think so. I think they're just looking for, I think.
Flexible volunteer opportunity, so I
Yeah.
think, yeah.
I mean, like that, you know, the church.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of people that live down.
Yeah,
I ran a copy of it.
yeah,
So
yeah, it kind of sounded like any.
It's really a genius idea, because it is so needed. It's
Yeah.
good to have it's been for us.
But it's good, yeah, I'm glad that they publish stuff like that, because there might be groups, scout groups, or who knows, that are always looking for volunteer or.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Great.
All right, well, thank you, everyone.